as I said yesterday, the follow-up to our self-care video. If you haven't seen it, I'll put a link in the description down below. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I thoroughly recommend that you go and check that other video out. But effectively, it was just me talking about little tips and tricks of building a good lifestyle and routine that I've sort of created over the last 25 years. I'm not going to say created, I'm going to say compiled, because many other people have taught me this sort of way of life that I keep myself, in that I train very often, I do martial arts, I meal prep, so I have an eating plan and it's quite clean, and it's tailored towards my fitness goals. And that is, I have a lot of carbohydrates before my workouts, or I have enough, and then I have protein and fat to kind of keep my body it keeps my body in a state of recovery, putting the right nutrients in the right spot. But I thought today I would follow that video up with a part 2 that kind of talks about how I really cinched that all together, because I know that it is, and believe me, I've fallen off the bandwagon so many times, but it is so easy to say yes, get enough sleep, eat the right kind of food, eat the right amount of food, stay hydrated, exercise, meditate, read, have a social life. But it's another thing to actually balance all of that and do it sustainably. And this is likely to be a fairly short video, so you'll have to forgive me after yesterday's 45-minute video. But I'm confident this will give you something interesting to play around with and make your own, and that hopefully it might help you focus or relax or whatever it is that you watch ASMR for. So this was probably one of my favorite Christmas presents this year, or last year. I got this as a gift from my girlfriend. It's one of those things that when you were a kid, you always thought, I'm never going to be so boring, that I'll want a planner for Christmas, but I was so excited to get this. Those are just some notes I've been taking. So this is just an ordinary planner. Has an entry for each day and a little ribbon to kind of keep you on track. Now, I use this book every single day, and it's been a godsend this year. It's really helped me stay on track of things. So, let me kind of show you guys what I do. So, for example, you can choose any arbitrary day of the week, but I choose Sundays just because that's how it works out best with my work timetable and with my training week. So as you'll see, I'm not sure if you can read that, but it says plan out week. That's all I have scheduled for Sunday. Now, of course, when Sunday I have work, but let's say Sunday rolls around, what I'll do is I'll open out this little page, and then I'll just flick through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the first thing I do is I note down my work shifts, because Yeah, you can work out, yeah, you can meal prep, yeah, you can get enough sleep, but in the end, unfortunately, we live in a world where you need to keep the money coming in. So if you are employed or if you go to school, it's just one of those responsibilities that you need to factor in first. The way I think of it is, I'm never going to be calling up work saying, listen, I'm sorry, but I didn't prioritize you over my training, so I can't make it in today. I've got a biceps workout to do. They wouldn't believe me either because I'm skinny as hell. But anyway, my point is that work comes first. So we'll go through the week. Monday, working at the dojo. Tuesday, Wednesday, working at the dojo. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, doing security. I might write out for my security, because I work at different places, I might write out the site as well. And it's important, take note of this, that every entry that you add, give yourself a little box to tick, or a circle, or whatever. You have to excuse me, I'm a bit itchy today. So we've just factored in work. Now, keeping that in mind, what we need to do now is go through each day of the week and work out what time you need to get up so that you can get to work stress-free, without running late, without having to skip doing your hair or your makeup or whatever it is that you do. And also, as you get a hang of this, you understand how much time you'll need for things like working out or preparing your food for your work or whatever it is that you do. Now, for some of my watchers who may be children or teenagers who may not work a job, this could be school. But just the main thing is, as the analogy goes, you have the jar, you put the big rocks in first. I would say that after your responsibilities, sleep is very, very important. It is so key. It's been shown that those with poor circadian rhythms, including night shift workers, have earlier onset dementia, Alzheimer's. You run the risk of heart disease, you run the risk of obesity. There are just so many different things that come with a poor circadian rhythm. You really want to get that thing humming at a regular frequency. Wake up, go to bed. Wake up, go to bed, same time, as much as you can. I generally will give myself one day of the week where I allow myself to sleep in more or to stay up later. Now, after this, I go through my week, so I've worked out when am I working and what time do I need to get up. Now, I write in, okay, what day am I going to buy my groceries and prepare all my meals? Because as you know, as I recommended in the last video, I recommend that you prepare all your meals for the week, and you can freeze them or you can store them. Otherwise, it depends on the type of food, but it is so much less stressful to wake up, go down to the freezer. This is what I do, and I pull out 4 meals, and I know all of them have a good source of carbohydrates like sweet potato or brown rice. And I know that I've got a yummy kind of mix of different meats, whether it's chili pork sausages, which is a favorite of mine, beef mince, chicken breasts, chicken and thyme sausages, whatever it is, as well as some frozen vegetables that have been cooked, obviously. So I factor that in. What day works best for me every week to cook all my food? Now, when you think about it, we could stop here and you would still be working, paying the bills. You would be waking up with food ready to go. healthy food too that would really keep your body going. You might even remind yourself each day, drink this amount of water by midday. And that's what I do. I go through one of these about 2 or 3 times a day. Now the other thing on top of my meal prep is, of course, fitness. It's one thing to load my body up with carbohydrates that my body can kind of synthesize into chemical energy at the muscle, but if I'm not using my muscles, if I'm not using my cardio system, then I'm not burning that energy off. That's all going to become fat. And likewise, I couldn't work out as much as I want, but if I'm not getting enough protein, my body isn't going to recover. It's not going to rebuild stronger and faster and bigger and better. So the next step is training. I do karate about 4 times a week, including 1 practice session at home. I do 4 or 5 sessions of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is a ground fighting martial art. I do weightlifting every second day, and I used to run. A lot. I've kind of told myself I'll take a break from that until I reach about 90 kilos. So I've still got about maybe 5 kilos to go. I haven't weighed myself in a while, but I digress. So what we're going to do now is we are factoring in work, sleep, hydration if you really want to count it, and fitness. Now the other great thing that keeping this around you is good for, sometimes I will have a friend reach out to me on Facebook and say, hey man, it's been a while, are you free this day? Do you want to meet up and, I don't know, go out for burgers and milkshakes or something? And I will always say no because I work every day. I joke, but this also really helps you from double booking, which happens to me a lot and it's very embarrassing. So you can, and I know this is super obvious, but when you actually follow this, it massively serves as a convenience in your life. So you open it up, you check the date, actually yeah, I am free, and then you write it down. Now obviously as you go through each day, you check everything off and it gives you a personal sense of satisfaction. Now on top of this, you can use this to schedule daily meditation sessions. You can do it to schedule reading time before bed, for example. I use it to schedule my videos. I go, okay, this day, and this day, I can do a video. And that helps me stay on top of it. It helps me keep myself accountable. And it's very rewarding to be able to go through a whole week and say, wow, I didn't miss a single task this week. Now, a couple of people actually messaged me after I released that video. I think I've spent this entire time out of focus. I'm so sorry. I don't want you guys getting annoyed with the video like I do. So, I had a few people message me after that other video and they were like, yeah, look, I eat fine, I sleep okay. Thanks for your videos because you're so amazing. They didn't say that. I work out, blah blah blah, but I really don't know what to do with my life. I don't have any goals, or I don't know what to do as a career. I can help you with that, but I can't necessarily tell you to go out and do this or to go out and achieve that. But what I can tell you is that if you never write down goals, you never end up doing them. Every major achievement in my life, like for example, saving up a certain amount of money to start a martial arts academy, or achieving my black belt, or traveling, all of these things I wrote down. And many people have heard of SMART goals. I'm not going to get into that because if you don't know it, just Google it. It's a great format for writing goals. But what I am going to share with you guys is a template, a format for writing out goals and kind of a short and long-term plan. I learned about this when I was doing a life coaching course in the city, which I never actually completed, funnily enough, but the basic format is what, how, and why. Now, what, how, and why. These are in ascending order, short-term to long-term goals. Now, your why is a powerful life mission type thing. This is Luke Skywalker becoming a Jedi. This is Frodo taking the ring to Mount Doom. These are really big, not necessarily expensive or long-term, but it is the journey that sings to you, the path. Like for me, I would say that my why is to live a simple moral life that follows the path of Buddha or Bushido, the warrior values of martial arts. There are many other things that I'd like to achieve in my life, such as traveling to India and Asia and all sorts of places. There are lots of sort of, how do I say this? Physical, attainable things that I would like, that I'm going to keep to myself. But my point is, your why. An old salesperson that I know, he used to say that your why has to make you cry. Now, a video that can really help you with this is if you look at Simon Sinek's TED Talk, Start With Why. Or if you read his book, I'd highly recommend it. Now the next level down from that is how. These are shorter term goals. So for example, as last year was coming to a close, I thought to myself, I am going to go and I'm going to climb the mountain that I climbed with my father and my brother when I was soon to turn 18. So there I was 7 years later, and on New Year's Day I climbed the tallest mountain in my state alone, and it was the most satisfying and grueling thing I'd done for a long time. Like I considered myself very fit, but it was hard for me because it was a very different type of fitness. But my point is that your how are goals that are a little easier to attain than your why. And the other thing is that if we work in the other order, your how is how you will achieve the why. So for example, let's say we know a ASMR YouTuber who also has the goal of starting his martial arts academy and becoming the best martial arts instructor that he could ever be, or she, hypothetically. We then say, okay, that's the why. And that's not really expressed in the most traditional way. The why would be something like, I believe that everyone should be empowered to feel confident and powerful and strong in all situations in their life. But anyway, how are we going to achieve that martial arts academy? Well, we could work 2 jobs 7 days a week and save lots and lots of money. We could travel to other countries and have different training experiences. We could go to seminars. There's just so many different things. They're shorter term goals. And then there's the what. Now, what goals are your dailies? What do I need to do to achieve my short-term goals, which are how I achieve my why? What do I need to do to achieve the things that will allow me, or the how, to fuel my why? So as you can see, my dailies are aligned with becoming fit, becoming strong, healthy, having discipline, having a quiet mind. And then my why is obviously the martial arts. And YouTube is a part of that, but anyway, I hope that helps, because in a way you can kind of work backwards. If you know exactly what you want to do in your life, you can then start with the how. Okay, well, how do I get closer to that? And then what are my dailies? Or you can work backwards. You can say, well, what do I really want to do every day? What is my ideal perfect day? Accounting for my responsibilities and whatnot. But that aside, what do I enjoy doing every day? Do I like doing yoga, silks or aerials or circus? Or do I like accounting? Do I like going to the beach? What do you enjoy doing every single day? There's kind of that saying that if you do something that you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And I think that's true. I know that to be true, because that really does describe my time instructing. There's something to me about when I teach a little kid how to throw a really good kick, or I teach a teenager how to defend themselves or how to execute a takedown, or when I help one of the senior students, someone my age, when I help them understand a principle or a concept better, that to me, it doesn't feel like work. So you want to find something that you could do every day for free, if money were no object. Alan Watts has a really, really good talk about that. So I think I'm going to quickly run over to my bookshelf and grab a couple of books that come as a recommendation from me to you. If you're still completely lost and you just don't know what to do, I'm going to give you some recommendations that might just inspire a little bit of thinking. Okay, so on our reading list, I have a book by Mark Manson and 2 books written by Jocko Willink. I am not a reader, but I read this book in a single night. It's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. I'm not going to give you guys too much of a review on this, but this really sort of comes down to being an authentic person and seeing how that affects your life, not holding yourself back. Now, I really love leadership books, because I feel as though when you learn to lead others, you learn to kind of lead yourself. Discipline Equals Freedom by Jocko Willink. This is kind of a bit more of a coffee table motivational book. Very large print, but it is a amalgamation of many different excerpts of his podcast, and I again really recommend it. Now, a little more wordy by the same author is Extreme Ownership: How US Navy SEALs Lead and Win. Again, I really feel as though even if you are not employed, even if you are not in a leadership position, learning to lead others helps you in your social life. It helps you figure yourself out. Now, finally, I will also recommend a video by Joe Rogan. You can find it on YouTube, and I will see if I can include a link below. But it is Be the Hero of Your Own Movie. I need to wrap it up. We have 14 seconds to go. So, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.